Much. Thank you for being here all day, and now it's night. We have, as a team, worked very hard. I'm grateful for even a larger team that is with me at my current location and that has really concentrated in making sure what we are going to be projecting tonight is not only verified but comes from legit sources, from IBC officers in all the 46,000 plus polling stations, all the over 1,450 wards, the 290 constituencies plus 2, that's diaspora and prisons, and importantly the 47 counties. What you need to note about this election is that this election, the final result is being announced from every constituency. In other words, the results as announced in the polling station was final, and that result is going to the constituency tallying center, and that is considered the final result of the presidential election. So ideally, I should be announcing here 80 constituencies, presidential results from all the 290 constituencies, plus 2, that's diaspora and prisons. However, after serious recollection, and given that IBC anyway will announce the results based on the constituency tally, the HNIB agents have decided to project these results from the counties. I will therefore announce the results as projected by HNIB from the counties. County number 001, Mombasa. The turnout, as per our agents, is 49%, out of which William Ruto gets 42% of the vote, and Raila Odinga gets 56% of the vote. County 002, Kwale, turnout 55%, William Ruto 27%, Raila Amolo Odinga 72%. Kilifi, the turnout is 49%, William Ruto 31%, Raila Odinga 67%. County number 004, that's Tana River, turnout 60%, William Ruto 41%, Raila Odinga 57%. County number 005, that's Lamu, turnout 57%, 57%. William Ruto 43%, Raila Odinga 53%. Taita Taveta, turnout 58%, that's 58%. Raila Odinga 75%, William Ruto 23% of that vote. Garissa, William Ruto, turnout 54%, William Ruto takes 26% of that vote, Raila Odinga takes 73% of that vote. Wajir, turnout 59%, William Ruto 38%, Raila Odinga 60%. Mandera, turnout 61%, William Ruto 21%, Raila Odinga 78%. Marsabit, that's county number 010, turnout 64%, William Ruto takes 53% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 46% of that vote. Isiolo County number 011, turnout 62%. 62%. William Ruto takes 55% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 44% of that vote. Meru, county number 012. Meru, county number 012, turnout 65%. William Ruto takes 86% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 12% of that vote. Tharaka Nithi, county number 013, turnout 66%. William Ruto takes 89% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 9% of that vote. County number 014, that's Embu, turnout 65%. William Ruto takes 82% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 16% of that vote. Kitui, county number 015, turnout 57%. William Ruto takes 31% of that vote. Raila Odinga takes 67% of that vote in Kitui. Machakos, turnout 61%. William Ruto takes 19% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 79% of that vote. As you watch this and you're trying to do the mathematics, why there's a discrepancy sometimes of 0.5 or 1% is because I have not added the others, including the spoiled votes. So, Makueni, county number 017, turnout 56%. William Ruto takes 22% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 77% of that vote. Nyandarua, county number 018, HNIB agents are reporting a 66% turnout, out of which William Ruto takes 80% and Raila Odinga takes 19%. County number 019, Nyeri, turnout 66%. William Ruto takes 83% and Raila Odinga takes 15% of that vote. Kirinyaga, turnout 68%. Turnout 68% in Kirinyaga, and William Ruto takes 84% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 14% of that vote. Murang'a, turnout is 65%. William Ruto takes 81%, and Raila Odinga takes 17%. Kiambu, county number 022, 67% turnout. William Ruto takes 79% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 19% of that vote. Turkana, county number 023. Turkana, county number 023, 57% turnout, 57% turnout. William Ruto takes 36% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 62% of the vote in Turkana. West Pokot, county number 024, turnout is 70%. William Ruto takes 63%, and Raila Odinga takes 36% of the vote in West Pokot. County number 025 in Samburu, turnout was 62%. William Ruto takes 43% of the vote, and Raila Odinga takes 56% of the vote in Samburu. Trans Nzoia, county number 026. William Ruto takes 48%, and Raila Odinga takes 50%. Because this is also a social media interactive projection, I can see the need for those who are asking for us to mention the total number of registered voters, and henceforth we shall mention that. So, Uasin Gishu County number 027, registered voters 506,138, turnout 66%. William Ruto takes 70% of that vote, and Raila Odinga takes 29% of that vote. County number 028, Elgeyo Marakwet, turnout 74% over total registered voters 213,884. 74% turnout in Elgeyo Marakwet. 96% of that vote goes to William Ruto, 3% goes to Raila Odinga. County number 029, that's Nandi, which has 406,288 registered voters, 68% turnout, 82% of which go to William Ruto, and 17% is a vote that goes to Raila Odinga. Baringo County number 30, with registered voters 281,053. That's Baringo. 94% of that vote goes to William Ruto, and 5% goes to Raila Odinga. Laikipia, county number 031, turnout 63%. 75% of that vote goes to William Ruto, and 24% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga. Nakuru, county number 032, Nakuru, county number 032, 65% turnout. 75% of that vote goes to William Ruto, and 23% of that vote goes to Raila Odinga. Narok, county number 033, Narok, county number 033, 75% turnout. 70% of the vote goes to WSR, that's William Ruto. 30% goes to Raila Odinga. County number 034, Kajiado, 63% turnout. 43% of the vote goes to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, and 56% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Kajiado, I'm repeating that again, but Kajiado, county number 034, 63% turnout. 43% of the vote goes to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. 56% goes to Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Kericho, county number 035, 74% turnout. 95% of the vote goes to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. 5% goes to Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Bomet, county number 036, 78% turnout. 96% of the vote goes to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. 4% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Kakamega, county number 037, 59% turnout. 19% of the vote goes to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, and 79% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Vihiga 038, 56% turnout. 32% goes to William Ruto. 65% goes to Raila Odinga. Bungoma, 59% turnout. 61% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 36% goes to Raila Odinga. Busia, county number 040, 7 more counties to go. Busia, 66% turnout. 17% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 82% goes to Raila Odinga. Siaya, 72% turnout. 1% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 98% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga. Kisumu, 17% 71% turnout. 71% turnout. 3% goes to William Ruto. 96% goes to Raila Odinga. Homa Bay. Homa Bay, county number 043. There was a 72% turnout. 1% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 98% goes to Raila Odinga. Migori, county number 044. Migori, county number 044. 69% turnout. 27% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 72% of the vote goes to Raila Odinga. County number 045, Kisii. 59% turnout. 24% of the vote goes to William Ruto. 74% goes to Raila Odinga. Nyamira, county number 046. 61% turnout. 37% of the vote in Nyamira goes to William Ruto. 61% of that vote goes to Raila Odinga. Finally, county number 047, that's Nairobi City. 58% turnout. 50% of that vote goes to Raila Odinga, and 48% of that vote goes to William Ruto. Now, before I give the final result, the final projection, these are the other numbers. 190,000, as per HNIB agents, 190,000 Kenyans voted manually. So they may not have been captured in the turnout of the Kim's kit. 190,000 Kenyans voted manually. There is a county which HNIB agents will be releasing online within the next 24 hours, which at the moment reflects 118% turnout. There is a county which will be releasing, HNIB agents will be releasing in the next 24 hours, which so far has released, has shown that they had a 118% turnout. Your guess will not be so far from the truth. There are several forms that have anomalies. I'll just mention 3 for now. The others will take the conversation online and offline. These forms, the anomalies are mainly overtallying, and I'll give some examples. There is the form in Elementaita Dispensary in Gilgil. 899, and this form, by the way, is posted on the official IEBC portal. 899 people on that form are shown to have voted, and in that form signed by all the agents. However, when the votes were being counted, only 376 were counted to have voted. That means the presidential candidate who won in this particular polling station was denied a massive 400 plus votes. Number 2, as a matter of example, Marsabit. 291 people were counted to have voted and signed by the agents, but when the form was recorded, only 294 were counted. So there was an anomaly of about 3 votes. Mombasa, Changamwe, Chani Ward. Mombasa, Changamwe, Chani Ward, and several others. We are going to be giving the details online in various platforms within the next 24 hours. Therefore, having said all that, HNIB would wish to make a national projection of the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, based on results that have been verified, counter-verified, sourced and counter-sourced, compared, and having spent the last almost 24 hours closing yesterday and now going plus, we can confidently project that the next president of the Republic of Kenya is going to be William Samoei Ruto, and the deputy shall be Rigathi Gachagua, having polled 51.39% of the vote, and Raila Odinga scoring 48.11% in that poll. Therefore, with 51.39%, William Samoei Ruto, we project as HNIB will be the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. As for the actual figures, there will be another HNIB address tomorrow with the exact figures of what those percentages mean. God bless you and God bless Kenya.
In the Kenyan electoral or political ecosystem.
Yeah.
Having said that again, the media, who we have all entrusted the duty and responsibility of disseminating information and accurately, in my view, they have done a very shoddy job of it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's just start right there.
I would like to...
I know you'll be nice.
Yeah. I would like to draw your attention to the very fantastic work you did with the, with the interviewing, or if you like, the debate of the president and the gubernatorial competitors. And I think it was a fantastic job. That should have been taken a step further in this process of yesterday that, in my view, was very, very critical. But I think the media houses dropped the ball. Instead of finding a unified process in tallying those votes so that they can be communicating one version of the truth, they all chose to go their different directions. Yeah. In the process of doing that, I'm hearing some of the argument being put out there is that you're going into a portal and you're picking some whatevers at random, and then you're tallying them into your systems, and then you're flying it out there. Tom, I don't think that's professional enough. And for lack of a better word, that is irresponsible.
Okay.
Yeah, all right? So that I see as a big talking point.
Yeah.
And finally is the question of technology.
Yeah.
We are talking about manual verification. We are talking about manual validation before we can announce the presidential results in an otherwise automated environment. Big contradiction.
Big contradiction.
Big contradiction, yeah.
Big contradiction.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Langa?
Very true, very true. And I think that Kenyans, for one reason or another, we are slow to embrace fully technology, except when it comes to M-Pesa. I find that very difficult to understand because most people love their parents, particularly their mothers. They love them so much. And you find people telling you they're sending money to their mother in the village. And they put it in a phone and they believe it has reached. But let me tell you other things. Even if you go to the judicial system, you now find that courts are going on, proceeding online. But the true record of the proceeding still remains what the judge or the magistrate wrote, not the recording of that process. It's not seen, is not accepted as the true record. We now have electronic images of our results being sent, but until we see the physical and the person comes there to confirm, we are still hesitant to believe it. So I think it's a big contradiction.
There's also the aspect, remember an observer we hosted yesterday, and you were there. He brought out the issue of you have to transition from a culture that you have been accustomed to over a long period of time into technology.
It is true.
So there is the question of how do you let go what has worked for you over the years?
It is true. Change is good, but it is difficult to come through. I am one of those people who have never changed my voting station since the first time I ever voted, because I have never been brave enough to believe that I'll find my data if I move it, you know? So just that example of why we are so slow to embrace change, you know? And you find it across many people. It takes time before you'll embrace it and before you begin to use it. I remember at one point in Kenya, we were still mesmerized with the mobile phone when our neighbors in Uganda, you'd find mama mbogas were communicating with their clients on phone. And in Kenya, we had select few people with big mobile phones. And it was still something we thought was completely out of reach.
Symbol of status.
Yes, and people thought that it would never happen in their lifetime that everybody would be having a mobile phone and that it would be the mode of trade. And it happened. quickly.
And now they've built a critical mass. And in fact, I believe part of the reason why there's a lot of anxiety in the country is because everybody has the talent center in their pockets. Yeah. So they're able to access these numbers. And Wakili, I don't know, I'm reminded of a time a colleague of mine asked me, why are you going to court to stop the migration of analog to digital? And it was a very difficult question to answer, because obviously somebody has very good reasons. Yes. Perhaps they have invested very heavily in the traditional infrastructure. Yeah. And then all of a sudden technology happens and you have to flip, overnight. So there's a bit of reluctance to cross that space with very good valid reasons. Do you see us ever getting even into voting online?
I hope so, Tom, because we are in an era whereby we need to transform quickly. We don't transform quickly, then we're going to be in a big problem. You remember yesterday we were actually raising an issue about the youth and the voter apathy in the youth. Yeah,
so just hold that thought, because it's so important. I would want to give you a lot more time. I understand there's something that has happened in Kasarani, so we want to cross over there. We understand there's a building that's collapsed, so let us just listen in to what's happening there. There we are. Let's listen in.
So we really cannot tell how long this will take, but we've set the objectives and we'll review this maybe early morning just to know, whether we will have been able to achieve objective or we need to revise. I think that is the state we could be able to say as at now.
So far, how many have been rescued?
Second?
So far, how many have been rescued?
At around 1800 hours, one person was rescued and has been taken to hospital and is being assisted at the moment. Unfortunately, also, we have 3 fatalities from this incident. It's mentioned to have been a 4-story.
You said the number of people inside is not known.
Yes, it's not immediately possible to establish how many could have been in the house at the time. We're still trying to make that inquiry so that then we can be sure. As you know, during this period where voting has been going on, a number of families traveled. We are not sure who was now back or had not come back. So it's still early to be able to put that figure together.
You established the total occupants.
Estimated to have been put at around 9 families, but again, we will be able to confirm who was in. Getting to know the occupancy of the building is one. The other is who was in the building at the time of the incident is yet another. Thank you.
Name? What's your name, please, sir? Title? What's your job title? Head of disaster management.
Report coming straight from Kasarani there. We understand that a building has collapsed. The rapid response team that includes the Red Cross have responded. We understand one person was rescued and has been hospitalized. Unfortunately, there were 3 fatalities. At this point in time, we're not able to establish the number of people who were in that building. Scanty information coming through. It's a developing story. So as soon as we get more additional information, we will relay it to you. So we come back to studio, and you're in the process of making a point. And I would like you, in addition, to just speak to the fact that how do you ensure that you build a robust infrastructure that doesn't collapse, during election, for example? Because those probably are some of the fears that, policy makers would have.
And I fully agree with you, Tom, because you remember the 2017 election, the issue of the server not being even in Kenya, and we are told that some guys are sleeping elsewhere. That's why we cannot be able to produce the data. So those are some of the insecurities people can be able to build around such a system. There's also the aspect of we don't trust each other. I can't trust Tom to be handling the server. Well, I know he's not my supporter, or he comes from a region which does not support me. So if we can, you normally realize that we do have a big challenge in selecting the commissioners to the IBC. Then even selecting the person to do this is going to be a bigger challenge. For the longest time, M-Pesa's servers were in Germany. Till recently is when they were transferred here. That speaks a lot. M-Pesa was pioneered here, but the servers were elsewhere. So if this has to be done, it has got to be done over time, because you have to assuage the people of Kenya that actually this can be done over time. And I think IBC has started off well. So all they need to is just to move step by step with to make very sure steps towards that. Though my biggest challenge also, as I was trying to say before we went for a break, is the aspect that there's an aspect, there's a feeling in me which, of course, is trying to tell me that, we are leaving the youth behind. We are leaving the youth behind because they are already somewhere else across in Canada, and we are left here. Because these systems are not working for them. That's why we are having this aspect of them not actually willing to vote. If this thing was, this election was to be done via the phone, I'm sure the turnout would have been way high.
Would have been way high.
If actually the registration process of becoming a voter in Kenya was also just you log into your phone and do it, we could be having a lot of youths. And that is the critical majority.
Yeah.
You remember we had a discussion about the intergenerational and intragenerational, the aspect of giving the baton to the next generation. I think we are dropping it somewhere, and we're not going to help them. And these are the voters of tomorrow.
And these are the voters
we are going to have a situation whereby in 2027 we'll be having 30 million voters, but the people who will vote will only be 15 million or 16 million. Because if we will not have transitioned to something which is appealing, the critical mass will be the youth. There's that particular challenge where I'm seeing that we might end up having that big problem. So unless IBC, unless even the contestants themselves, they need to package their messaging to be appealing to the young people. And then, of course, the government must be very deliberate, because everything starts and ends with the government.
With the government,
so those are some of the issues, I think, which we need to look at.
Yeah, and I don't know, Doreen will shortly be telling us where we are with the Form 34 A's. I think 4 or 5 hours ago, we were slightly over 90%. But let me just take this question back to Daktari, because you raised it, the question of technology. We are almost hitting 100% as far as the Form 34 A's are concerned. And we know that the election will be lost or won at that stage. So it tells us, and the IBC chair is telling us, hey, you know what? We have to manually wait for those results to be brought to us. And it's a good point, so that they can do their reconciliations. But then, against that background, we wave our fingers at the young people for not failing to register. And yet these are people who are domiciled in that space of technology. How do we navigate some of these things? Because Wakili says that technology is the future. It's the new currency. Okay? And in fact, there's a joke that is said that our forefathers fought so hard for us to get freedom. And that freedom, we have just lost it to our smartphones. So how do you speak to that? How do we bring that youthful demographic into the conversation?
That's a very difficult question, Tom, but a very good question indeed. First, I'm thinking there's a conflict between generations. And you'll remember a week or so before yesterday, there was a dispute about whether we should have the manual register as part of this process. in what we would have thought we've already established an automated intervention. That tells you the conflict amongst ourselves. But not to beat ourselves very hard, there's so much to take away as gains or wins. The fact that today all these forms can be, or rather the information can be in a central portal almost on real time, for me that's a big step forward. You get me? And that's a very good beginning. The contradiction of the manual process notwithstanding. And I think this is unprecedented. Both if you compare it to the previous elections that we've heard, and even if you compare what we are doing now with the rest of Africa, I think we are way ahead. I'm very excited that a sitting member of parliament can concede defeat, not because it has been announced, but because he has gone into a central portal, done the tabulation himself, and just admitted without any further intervention from anybody that I have lost these elections. I think that's a beautiful place to be. We can only build from there. Now, having said that, the youth is a totally different proposition. And we can choose to look for shortcuts to address the issue there is, but I don't think that will help solve the problem. Personally, I'm beginning to see the collapse of the principle of representation as we know it. The youth are asking the question, what is in it for me? We are totally disconnected. And that is why you can see when new voters are being registered with a target of 6 million, you only end up with 2.5 million doing what? Signing in as voters. The best way to answer this question is to do a comprehensive scientific research. And I don't think we ever